I watched the life drain from my father's face, expecting the tidal wave of grief to hit. I had prepared myself for the pain of watching the strongest man I knew fade, for the silence that would follow once his breath stopped. What I wasn't prepared for, what tore deeper than any sorrow, was a betrayal waiting quietly on the other side of that loss. It began in the fluorescent-lit corridor outside his hospital room. The doctor, with a kindness in his voice that only made it worse, pulled me aside. "You might want to call your loved ones," he said. "He doesn't have much time left." My hands trembled as I pulled out my phone. I dialed my wife. "Claire." No answer. I called again. Straight to voicemail. I sent a text, short and urgent. "He's slipping. Please come." What I didn't know, what I couldn't have imagined, was that while I stood alone beside my father's bed, Claire was miles away, laughing over drinks with my best friend, Nathan, the man who had been by my side since our college days, the best man at our wedding, the person I trusted above nearly all others. As my father's breath slowed, as I held his hand and whispered memories into the quiet hum of machines, Claire stayed absent. Not that day, not the next. I buried my father without her. When his hand finally went still, I didn't collapse. I didn't scream. I simply whispered, "Rest now, Dad. I've got from here." 3 days passed before I returned home. I half expected Claire to be there, grieving in her own way. Instead, I found a house that felt strangely hollow. Her clothes were still in the closet, but her presence was gone. Nathan's car was missing too. Dread twisted in my gut. But it wasn't until I opened her laptop that truth slapped me awake. Their messages were there. Dozens of them. He's so caught up in the hospital. He doesn't even see what's happening. I know it feels wrong, but we deserve this. We've waited long enough. That word, deserve, burned. My world didn't just crack. It shattered. The woman I loved, and the friend I considered a brother, had chosen the moment of my greatest vulnerability to walk away. And not just to leave, but to run into each other's arms. I didn't lash out. I didn't call. I didn't scream. I buried my grief with my father, spoke at his funeral with dry eyes, and went back to an empty home. Then the call came. My father's lawyer. "You may want to sit down," he said. "Your father left you everything, the lake house, the surrounding land, investments. There's also a separate portfolio, hidden accounts, properties, stocks. It's all yours, valued at around $4 million. I said nothing, not because I was shocked, but because a calm, focused resolve had taken hold. Claire and Nathan thought they had broken me. They didn't realize they had handed me the tools to rise above them. Weeks later, Claire returned. I was on the deck of my father's lake house, watching the sun drift through the pines. She pulled up the gravel driveway and stepped out, face pale, sunglasses hiding her swollen eyes. She approached slowly, her voice cracking. "I made a mistake," she whispered. I sipped my coffee. I was hurting. Nathan said the right things. I thought he understood me, but he's not you. I looked at her, calm. "No, he's not." She collapsed onto the steps, tears falling freely now. "He left me, said I was a placeholder." I could have smiled. Instead, I handed her an envelope. She opened it. Divorce papers. My signature already inked. "Just add yours," I said. She blinked, stunned. "You're not even going to try?" "You didn't," she stammered. "What about the house?" "Our life." "Sold it. It was in my name. After the refinance." "Your savings?" "Nathan drained those, didn't he?" Her silence was all the answer I needed. She looked up at me. "Broken? You're just going to let me fall?" I stood, calm as stone. "No, Claire, I'm going to let you live with what you did, every single day." I walked inside. She left an hour later. I haven't seen her since. Nathan was next. He thrived off charm and shortcuts, real estate tricks, forged numbers, bullying clients into bad deals. I'd known for years, but I had let it go. Not anymore. I sent an anonymous packet to his company's ethics board. Inside, emails with fake appraisals, old recordings of him bragging about his shady tactics, a statement from a single mother he pressured into a terrible lease. She became my unexpected ally. He had hurt her too and forgotten. I hadn't. His suspension came fast. Then the reviews. Then the calls. I quietly reached out to our mutual friends, not in anger but with truth. Just so, Nathan was sleeping with Claire while I sat with my dying father. The floodgates opened. Stories surfaced. Lies he told, women he used, people he trampled. I shared his arrogant texts, some recent, with the women he was juggling like trophies. Then I built the final blow, a website, just a name, nathanizes.com, filled with receipts, fraud, infidelity, testimonials, no promotion, no announcement, just cold, hard evidence left to travel through whispers and shares. It reached his clients, his co-workers, his enemies. His license was revoked. His name became a cautionary tale. That night, I sat again on the lake house deck. The air was clean, quiet. My phone buzzed. I know it was you. Please stop. I turned it off and looked out at the trees. Some revenge doesn't require shouting. Silence, when shaped well, is sharper than any blade. Months passed. Then Claire returned once more. Uninvited. She stood at the gate of a property she never knew existed. Thinner. Hollow. In the same coat she'd left in. Nathan's gone. He hit me. Blamed me. Took everything. I didn't move. She wiped her tears. I was blind. I betrayed the only person who truly cared. I looked her in the eyes. I did love you when it mattered. But now, you're just a shadow. She stepped forward. I have nothing. No one. I tilted my head. Funny, that's how you left me. She broke then, sobbing, begging to make it right. I knelt beside her, not out of mercy, but to be eye level when I said, you made your choice. And I made mine. This piece, it's mine now. I stood, walked inside, and closed the door behind me. 1 year later, I stood in a tailored suit on stage at a hospice charity gala. I told the crowd, when life falls apart, you see who really stands with you. Some people will let you break. Others will show you what you're worth by how quickly they leave. But real strength, it isn't revenge. It's building a life so full, they can't touch it. Applause followed, warm and distant. Somewhere out there, Claire might still be trying to rebuild. Nathan might be crawling from the wreckage. But I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. What broke me once only carved space for something greater. Because betrayal doesn't define your end. What you do after does.